You wanna know what I think the worst thing is the internet's doing to people right now? It's leading everybody to believe that everybody else is an idiot, especially people that disagree with them. Everybody's first reaction to somebody that disagrees with them is like, oh, you're an idiot. It's like, actually, the vast majority of people aren't idiots. They just either are coming from a different background, have a different belief system, have different reasons, have different, like, it's a whole variety of things. Assuming that somebody else is an idiot, especially when they're professional in their field, is like the worst mistake one person can make. And if everybody stops just immediately claiming everybody else is an idiot, I think the world would be a better place.
Not everyone is meant to make a difference, but for me, the choice to live an ordinary life is no longer an option.
Twice, and I've never even seen his face. You are amazing.
I believe there's a hero in all of us. Gives us strength, makes us noble. Even though sometimes we have to give up the thing we want the most.
Barker!
Where you been? Looking for you all morning.
You're late.
Always late!
You're fired.
Look at you, Peter. Your grades have been declining. You always appear exhausted.
I know I'm trying.
So where you been, pal? You don't return my calls.
I've been kind of busy.
Taking pictures of your friend. Spider-Man killed my father.
No matter what I do,
Do you love me or not?
no matter how hard I try,
I want Spider-Man dead.
it's the ones I love who will always be the ones who pay.
I can't keep thinking about you. I'm getting married.
I want a life of my own. I'm Spider-Man. No more.
You look different.
I let things get in the way before. There was something I thought I had to do. I don't have to.
I liked seeing you tonight, Peter.
Now on to the main event.
Octavius is gonna put Oscorp on the map in a way my father never even dreamed of.
Crazy scientist turns himself into some kind of a monster. 4 mechanical arms welded right onto his body.
You take Spider-Man's pictures. Where is he?
It's taking me off your loyalty to Spider-Man and not your best friend. Bring Spider-Man to me.
How do I find him?
Peter Parker.
Find Spider-Man, or I'll peel the flesh off her bones.
There are bigger things happening here than me and you. Ask MJ to marry me.
A man has to put his wife before himself. Can you do that, Peter?
Yeah, I think I can.
We have some new information. This is your uncle's actual killer. We lost his trail 2 days ago.
killed my uncle, and he's still out there.
Everybody needs help sometimes, Peter. Even Spider-Man.
Revenge is like a poison that can take us over. And before you know it, can turn you into something ugly.
The suit. Where'd this come from?
The power. Feels good. You lose yourself to it. Whoa, Spidey. Love the new outfit. Remember Ben Parker?
What does it matter to you anyway?
Everything!
Do you want to push me away?
Why would I want to push you away? I love you.
You knew this was coming, Pete.
I didn't kill your father!
What's happening? We've all done terrible things to each other, but we have to forgive each other, or everything we ever were will mean nothing.
I need your help. I have to stop it.
This could be the end of Spider-Man.
You're gonna stay with your aunt and uncle for a little while. You'll be safe here.
Where are you going?
Something your mom and I have to do.
I want to go with you.
Yeah, you have to go.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Parker.
Not much to tell, really.
Peter lives with his aunt and uncle.
Forgot all about that thing. It was your dad's.
What are you doing here?
I have nothing.
Do not get me in trouble. Don't touch anything.
Ready to play God?
Do you have any idea what you really are?
We all have secrets. The ones we keep. And the ones that are kept from us.
No one in my family was in the arts. My father sold hay, feed, grain in Philadelphia. And he was a poker player, and my mother was a poker player. And we lived a very simple kind of depression life in a depression. Although I had a father who was depressed and committed suicide when he was 43. So that's the beginning of my story. why I'm a writer, you know, it never occurred to me to be a screenwriter or any kind of a writer or anything, actually. I never had a plan. I never really had a dream. And things just sort of came to me. But I've done a lot of other kinds of work, being a waiter and trying to be an actor unsuccessfully. I left Philadelphia, I left high school, I quit high school and went into the Navy just towards the end of the war. I quit high school because if you join the service during the war and your grades were not very good and you're not going to even graduate, they'll graduate you if you join the service. So it wasn't about heroism. It was really about getting out of school with a diploma, which is exactly what I did. So I was in the Navy for a few years and I learned to take Morse code. So I learned to type. I learned to type really well. That was my one skill in life. After I got out, I think I just took jobs to earn a living, but my one passion was typing, not writing. And I used to practice typing. And I started writing dialogue, writing people talking to each other. That's what I called it, people talking to each other. And that led me somewhere after a long time. That was when I was 20, in my 20s.
Dames en heren, beste koersliefhebbers. We zijn hier te gast op de winterstage van de Lotto Soudal World Tour ploeg in het Rafa Nadal Center in Mallorca. En we nemen u mee voor een unieke blik achter de schermen. We zien hoe de basisconditie van de coureurs tot het uiterste getest wordt. En we dagen de klimmers van Lotto Soudal uit voor een bijzondere klimwedstrijd. Dames en heren, hartelijk welkom aan deze twee mannen die bergen beklimmen en kools beklimmen alsof ze bergaf reden. Topklimmer Tim Wellens en supertalent Bjorg Lambrecht. Welkom heren.
Goedenavond.
Jij bent al twee klimmers, maar ongelooflijk wat verschil. Heeft dat zijn voordeel van zo groot te zijn tegenover hem die zo klein is?
Ik denk dat Bjorg meer voor de extra lange klimmen dat beter zal kunnen doen als mij. En ik doe liever iets kortere klimmen.
Dus de Ardennen, bijvoorbeeld Bastenaken-Luik. Luik-Bastenaken-Luik is iets wat dat...
Luik-Bastenaken-Luik was pijls, was zelfs korte klimmers zoals de Amsterdam Gold Race. Ja. Allemaal leuke wedstrijden.
En voor jou, ja, je hebt zo'n beetje de fysionomie van een Colombiaan eigenlijk. Hè? En de Colombianen, hè, dat weten we, dat zijn toch veelal goede klimmers. Heeft dat ook te maken waar dat ze wonen?
Ja, ik denk dat ze wel een voordeel hebben als je heel je leven op hoogte woont. Dan, als je ziet dat nu alle Europese renners op hoogte gaan voor te gaan trainen en ze hebben al heel hun leven mee, dan heb je natuurlijk wel een lichamelijk voordeel, denk ik.
Nou, als ik uw accent hoor, dan geloof ik niet dat je op grote hoogte...
Nee, ik lig gewoon op hele lage laagte.
Ja, je won uiteindelijk 2 keer de kristallen fiets toen dat je een belofte waard. Hè? Nu is het uw tweede jaar, verleden jaar waren we neoprof. Wat zijn de grote verschillen nu met de beloften als je...
Ja, ik denk vooral tempo in de finales is een stuk hoger. Dat is wel een groot verschil, ja.
Ja, ook bij u zit het een beetje in de genen, hè? Want je had een grootoom, als ik me niet vergis, die ook wel coureur is geweest, hè?
Ja, de onkel van mijn moeder heeft ook nog Tour de France gereden. En, ja, het is een beetje van ook die kant van de familie dat ik de koers en mijn lichaam heb eigenlijk.
Dat kunnen dat ja, uw grootoom is?
Onkel Jeff noemen we hem, ja.
Onkel Jeff, Jozef Timmerman.
Ja, Jozef Timmerman.
En hij reed in dienst van Van Looy?
Ja, inderdaad.
En Benoni Beheid?
Ja, daar moest hij was Een bidondrager, gelijk dan ze zeggen. Hè.
Tim, als je nu naar Bjorg kijkt, hè, wat hij al gepresteerd heeft tot nu toe als belofte, hè, en dan als neoprof verleden jaar, hoe schat jij hem in?
Ik schat hem heel hoog in. Bjorg heeft al een koers gewonnen op die leeftijd, ik kan niet veel renners zeggen. Ik zelf kon dat zeker niet zeggen op die leeftijd.
Zeg, over een koers gesproken die je gewonnen hebt verleden jaar, hè, als neoprof direct en dan nog niet zo de minste sprint bergop, die man eraf rijden. En dat was dan Albassini en Boasson Hagen.
Ja, het was voor mij ook een hele grote verrassing. Ik had dat zeker niet gedacht om dat dit jaar al te doen.
En als je die beelden terugziet, voelde je dat niet?
Ja, dat voelde zeker nog altijd iets. Ik kan het nog altijd moeilijk geloven, zelfs dat ik hun kunnen kloppen heb.
We gaan een keer even kijken. Kijk, je ziet Bjorg vertrekken, hier vierde positie en die is hem weg. Wil ik even commentaar daarbij geven?
Ja, hier duik ik dan in het gat en nu was het gewoon de hele tijd wachten. Nu zag ik Albassini, de schaduw van Albassini. En nu was ik constant aan het wachten eigenlijk totdat die schaduw dichter en dichter kwam. En die kwam op dat moment niet meer dichter en dat was een droom dat uitkwam.
걔네들은 갑자기 나타났어요, 어느 날. 그냥 연기했던 기억인 것 같기도 하고, 스트레스 때문인가? 아니면, 잘 모르겠어요. 가끔은 정말 그게 나인가 싶기도 하고, 그럼 난 정말 누구일까? 내가 뭘 잘못했나? 그냥 다 끝내고 싶다. 그런 생각을 해요. 끝이요? 글쎄요. 어떤 끝인지는 각자 생각이 다르지 않을까요?
머릿속 규보적으로 글이 늘어나 현실 속 늪을 찾아갈 시간이야 나쁜 날은 아니야 그냥 괜찮아 꽤나 지긋지긋한 게 사실이야
Hey everyone, I'm up on my roof, sun's about to set. Wanted to take a few moments to remember an old friend who passed away a year ago today, Justin Ponsor. I considered him one of my best friends over at Marvel. I'm not going to pretend that I was really one of his best friends in real life. Although he always made everyone he ever met feel like their best friend. So something I keep on thinking about is, especially right now, Justin would have exactly the right thing to say. No matter how bad his situation got, no matter how much he suffered, he always thought about other people. And he always thought about putting a smile on their faces, even when they were going through misery, thinking about what was happening to him. He always thought about them first. And I think now more than ever I miss what his wisdom, his humor, just his entire attitude toward existence. What magic words he would come up with now to make all of this just a little bit more livable. So wanted to bring up that the Hero Initiative was a source of not just financial support for him, but a great comfort for him. Justin gave this testimonial. Enter the Hero Initiative. They're a friendly voice checking in to see how I'm doing and have provided assistance to smooth over the roughest of times. I can't overstate how much difference I felt after restless, anxious nights spent stressing about making ends meet. To experience the relief of finding an answer to my situation and the peace of mind it enables is priceless in my road to recovery. My mental and possibly physical health, not to mention my financial stability, owe a great deal to the support I've received from this wonderful organization. And I can't express how thankful I am to the Hero Initiative for having Justin's back when he most needed it. That if he could even get a moment's relief, for the Hero Initiative to provide that is just invaluable. And I think people like me, his friends and family, everyone who loved Justin would never be able to repay that. I keep thinking about how Justin redefined how I look at sunsets and sunrises. His color palette didn't just capture the world perfectly, it elevated it. It took its best moments and made them something even more extraordinary. Probably can't see it right now, I'll just the color real quick, but I just came up here thinking about how even no matter how beautiful the sunset is, Justin would have made it even more beautiful. That's just how fucking talented he was. A once-in-a-generation comic book creator. Yeah, I'm gonna miss his humanity, his wisdom, his humility, his love for everybody in his life, and how he made this whole world. He saw the best in the world, and he made sure that that best appeared on the comic pages that people like you and I looked at for years. So, if you could take a moment today to remember Justin, remember the Hero Initiative who stood by him, remember the other creators right now who are suffering, maybe more than ever. And just like Justin would, reach out with a joke, words of support, words of love. If you have some extra resources, I've got links in this YouTube video and on Facebook where you could donate directly to the Hero Initiative. But I just want to remember him and live up to his example. And with what time we have left here, to help out however we can. Love you, man.
What do we do about this? I feel the only answer is to change religious teaching on homosexuality and LGBT issues. And I don't mean we berate Christians and shout at them or berate Muslims and shout at them. We need to do the one thing that I didn't want to do when I left at school at 16. We need to have conversations, difficult conversations, and fight for the hearts and minds of those who oppose us. I've studied this, and when you ask people like Megan Phelps-Roper, who was a member of the Westboro Baptist Church, a hate group in America, when you ask people like this, when you ask former neo-Nazis, the most extreme people, when you ask them what changed your mind, what made you abandon your views, they'll tell you the same thing. It was a conversation. Someone who they were opposed to struck up a conversation, and they learned that that person was not who they thought they were, and they got to a point where they could no longer hold those views. People tell me this isn't going to happen. There is no way the churches will change their teaching or the mosques will change their teachings. You're mad. And I would have agreed with them. But 6 weeks ago, I was out in a gay bar, not this one, with my friend, Jordan. He's from a Free Presbyterian DUP voting family in County Legendary. Avoid that Londonderry dairy thing, I hate that. And we were out there with his mum, who is a Scottish Free P who goes to church every Sunday. And she was out in this bar supporting her gay son, just like Brenda Marquez McCool was out in Pulse that night supporting her gay son. Don't tell me there's no hope, because for too many LGBT young people, that is the only thing they have that keeps them living. And by the way, that Free Presbyterian mother went into work the next day and told everyone about this amazing thing she'd been to called a drag show. Now, if you had told me that I'd be sitting in a gay bar with one of Ian Paisley's disciples, drinking cocktails and watching a drag show, I'd have told you were mad. So, what can you do if you thought you were here to listen passively to me rant on? No, I've got a job for you all. If any of you are uncomfortable with the thought of someone like me, please come up to me after this event and talk to me. I won't bite your head off. I won't call you a homophobe. We'll just have a conversation, and I'll show you that I'm human, just like you. If you are comfortable with the thought of someone like me, have a conversation with someone who isn't, and try to change their mind, because you could be saving a life. Finally, I'd like to send a message to all LGBT young people who are currently struggling, especially those from faith backgrounds. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. This talk is in memory of the Pulse 49 and all LGBT people who've died by suicide. Thank you very much, folks.
Good night, Kathy. See you tomorrow.
Good night, darling. Take care of that throat. You're a big singing star now, remember? This California dew is just a little heavier than usual tonight.
Really? From where I stand, the sun is shining all over the place. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. And the sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. face, I walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you a story with a happy ending. Once upon a time, a lonely boy in South Carolina was sparked by the wonder of movies, where he was captivated by everything from cowboys to comedians to movie monsters. And then he saw his first musical, Flying Down to Rio, which introduced him to two magical people named Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. They took the boy into a fantasy world of such delight that he changed his mind about going into his family's dress business and started taking dancing lessons. He was 9 years old. He kept on dancing, and when he graduated high school, the shy and awkward 16-year-old danced his way up north and into the chorus of a Broadway hit, Pal Joey. And it was there he met the star of that show, who was to become his mentor, friend, and in time, his collaborator on a series of films that would revolutionize dancing in the movies. The star was Gene Kelly. The boy was Stanley Donen, who followed Gene to Hollywood as his assistant first and then as his co-director. And the first film he directed by himself starred his boyhood role model, Fred Astaire. Stanley Donen had made the big time, and for the next 30 years, he directed and often produced a string of classic films.
We joked with Arthur Freed, the producer, about Singing in the Rain, which was his big song. And we said, Arthur, we have an absolutely great idea for how we're going to do that number. And he said, all full of expectation, how? He said, well, in Singing in the Rain, we're going to actually sing in the rain. You have a song called Singing in the Rain, you're not going to sing in the bed. And that old cliche about, you know, work is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration is never truer than in movies or in all the ideas that I certainly have ever had. Making Gene do that in the street, we had to work out every inch of the way. It's all enormous detail, down to where the puddles are going to be and when he splashes in them, on what beat. And we had to make the puddles, dig out the cement so the water would stay in the place we wanted it when he danced that particular moment, and making that up. And of course, now we get into the discussion about what is improvised and what is not improvised. Well, in a sense, everything is improvised, but not when we're filming. You improvise it and refine it and refine it and refine it, but in the moment of filming, there's no more inspiration. It's fixed.